What's cracking, everybody, and welcome to the Good Kraken podcast. I am one of your hosts, Ernell Pearson, alongside the inevitable one, Devin Stanford.
Saw, dude.
And our lovely newest friend, HighxLash from Twitch.tv. Hello.
Saw, dude.
Saw, dude. It's lit. HighxLash, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
Oh, it's popping. It's popping. You know what I mean?
It's
lit out.
Speaking
here.
of popping.
Oh, she came in for the party, bro. Let's
gang.
Cheers to that, y'all. Let's go. So, HighxLash, what is new with you?
So I've been doing a lot of work on my channel. It's heavily evolving into an art channel kind of by accident. But it's great because I get to illustrate a lot of our community members, which is a really nice bonding experience. And I'm just living my best life, as they say.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I've been seeing some of your art. You've been doing really, really great stuff.
Thank you.
How long have you been doing digital illustrations for?
You know what's funny is I really only started when I started Twitch. And
okay.
Before that I did do art since high school, and I'm an old lady, so that's quite a while.
For sure. We get it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just weird. I never would have thought that I would be somebody who would be doing art as an occupation, and I feel very grateful that I get to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude, good for you. I'm stoked for you. That's awesome. Being an artist is hard. It's hard stuff. I get it.
You know that cursive song, "Art is Hard"? That's my life.
Yeah. Facts. I mean, all three of us are artists in so many different ways, and it's I know all three of us are tired. We're tired. Naps.
That's just putting it mildly.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna lie. I napped before I knew I had to come on here. I was I need to recharge the energy.
I don't blame you at all.
Time to slip in my little my 1 o'clock little sleepy time, a little pillow
you
talk
bet your
to
ass.
myself. Yeah. Oh my god, that's incredible. HighxLash, so how long have you been streaming for? I want to start out with that a little bit.
So I started streaming August of last year. So what's that? August. So technically end of July, but I'll just start with August. So August, September, October. What are months? November, December, Jan, Feb, March. So 9 months, basically a Twitch baby.
Oh, fresh in the game.
Yeah, so I'm pretty new, but it's probably the best decision that I have made thus far, which, has been wonderful.
Good for you. For the people at home, tell everyone who you are and what you're about real quick. I want to try to get people to know you a little bit before we kind of dive into your friendly, fun opinions and stuff. So
Sure thing. So if anybody is new to who I am or my channel or anything like that, I usually describe it as a cozy, intimate space to hang out. I used to basically try to be or personify some high energy person, which I can be sometimes, but mostly I'm just smoking, and we're chilling and we're talking about dream interpretations and what we ate for lunch this week. And it's basically I'm all about just connecting with another person. And so if you ever are new to my channel, you probably hear me say, I don't want to ask, how are you? Because I feel like I get nothing from that question.
Sure,
so it's always what, if you were stuck on an island and you can only eat one vegetable, what would it be? And then we start having some discourse about food things. So I'm all about just conversations, smoking, art, and sometimes a little horror. Very, very little.
Just a little.
Yeah, most of my friends are horror streamers or play horror games, so I'm I don't have to. They got that covered.
Oh my god, dude! So last night we had our homeboy sit here and try to talk me into playing Devour. finally. So we watched some people streaming it late last night. Like we were up until like 2 a.m. watching people streaming Devour.
You see my face right now?
Okay. So what I told him was, I think you might have unsold me on this because I am so fucking horrified of the shit that happens in this game. Like it's a huge. I might. Not fuck with it.
I played Devour when it first came out, and because it was like what, $5, and somebody was like, "Oh, you want to collab and play this?" And I'm like, "Sure." Like I've played Phasmo, and, Miles screams. No, like
Not Phasmo.
I was so just riled up that my dog, like who's sleeping on the couch, was like shaking, and I was like, "Oh my god, something wrong with my dog." Let her out of the room. Just turns out she had anxiety because of me being scared.
Oh my god.
Yeah, my sensitive little beagle.
Devin, do you plan on playing Devour after we watched some of it last night?
I gotta beat RE8 first.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Because we gotta do the spoiler cast for that.
Yeah.
Because I need to have that conversation with you. Did you play Resident Evil 8, HighxLash? I don't know if you started it all yet or playing.
No.
No.
I've been watching all my friends play, and I'm just like, holy shit, blah blah blah. And then I'm also like, I can't, my brain doesn't act in a way that I can react smartly, if that makes sense. So like I like a lot of turn-based combat for that reason, so I can think of things. But if I'm Ethan Winters and that Heisenberg guy's like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, go, I'm gonna be like, what the fuck? Is this a wall that I'm supposed to go through? Or I don't know. I think I'm a too frazzly type of person to critically think in terms of horror game problem solving.
For sure. How are you with horror movies then?
I love horror movies.
Okay.
I feel like it's interesting, right? Like I'm all about horror movies, but horror games where I actually have to take the wheel, I'm like, no. I'll just watch.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I don't particularly blame you. I mean, horror games are a different realm these days with things like Evil Within and obviously RE Village.
It's so different. When I was young, horror was like the first Silent Hill, and it's like the radio static when you walk into the diner. And I was like, nope, no more. I'm not playing these games.
That shit fucked me up real bad when I was a kid, and now I have tattoos on my face. But today, we're not talking about face tattoos. We're talking about Target hating happiness, Knives Out 2 creating happiness, and true AAPI happiness, and much, much more, because this is the Good Kraken Podcast, a show for nerdy, marginalized people giving you the video game and pop media news, reviews, and discussions that you want to hear live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and 1 p.m. If you're watching live, you can submit questions and topics at tinyurl.com/GKsubmissions to be a part of the show. If you're having a good time so far, you can watch us record the show live and ad-free by following and subscribing right here at twitch.tv/GoodKrakenShow. If you have Amazon Prime, you also have Twitch Prime. We would love for you to give that to us or give that to the lovely HighxLash here to help keep us pushing content for all of you lovely people listening or watching at home. If you've emptied your pockets for the latest and greatest in entertainment, that is totally fine. You can catch our episodes of our podcasts on podcast service. What did I just? I think I just remembered something. Sorry, I said podcast. I was like, wait, was there something I was supposed to do today? And I think I remembered it. You can listen to us on your podcast service of choice at 8 a.m. the next day after we film live right here on Twitch. But you can also support us by going to our YouTube channel by clicking the link in the About section of our Twitch page and clicking that beautiful bell and big red button, or by subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Good Kraken with an exclamation mark and leaving a review there. Housekeeping! After our show today, everyone, I will be playing Mass Effect for the first time, starting with the brand new Mass Effect Legendary Edition. 5 o'clock, I will be on here. I gotta go eat some dinner and shit before we get started, but I am ready. Devin's been talking to me about how excited he is about it, how excited I'm about it. Have you played Mass Effect, HighxLash?
Never played Mass Effect. I don't really even know what it is. I'm a fake gamer girlfriend.
That's okay. Even fake gamer girlfriends are real gamer Yeah,
So
period. That's
it's
relevant.
a space
I know,
opera. You should play it. You
It's
should
a
play
space
it.
opera?
Yeah, like Star
Essentially.
Wars.
Musical?
But
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
No,
not a
no, no, no,
musical,
no, no, no.
but like
Oh,
it is probably one of the best storylines. The new Legendary Edition includes 1, 2, and 3, and you carry your whole character through all the games, and all the decisions you make go through the whole game and everything. The voice acting is really good. They have like a huge cast of just like A-list actors and actresses. It's really good.
I'm ready
Should
to
I
sleep
stop?
with some aliens, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and you can bang aliens in it.
I'm ready to
So
bang aliens, dude.
is it like an open world survival type
It's-
thing, and that's how you meet the aliens, or like what? Tell me a little bit about that.
It's from BioWare, and they did like Knights of the Old Republic and Jade Empire, and it's just an
Dragon Age.
RPG. Yeah, Dragon Age.
Yeah,
it's just an
so-
RPG. Imagine sci-fi Dragon Age.
Oh,
Yeah,
got it.
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
excited
it's
for it.
really good.
I'm a really big like narrative driven game guy. So like I love stories. I love experiencing
Me too.
stories and like seeing out like how the writing is in it. And so that's why I'm super excited about this because I've heard nothing but extravagant things about it. So also as far as rest of housekeeping, got one more thing. Our Thursday night stream of Apex Legends is available as a VOD right here on our Twitch channel. Actually, you can just click videos. It'll be right down there for you and you can watch. Me and Devin do a really great impersonation of Butters and Jimmy. About an hour into the show. It becomes a good time. It's a good time. So if you want to see that, you can go there. But also our episode 15 of the GK show is available on YouTube and podcast services for your enjoyment. You can check that out there. We got to talk a lot about more nerdy video game stuff and had a really great conversation about I think that was our Marvel Venom episode, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We talked about the Venom trailer and how not good it looked.
Oh, yike.
Yeah, I mean, Carnage looked sick, but everything else in the trailer just looked real bad. It looked real bad. Real bad. HighxLash, I have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
Have you ever been into Pokemon cards?
I mean, I got Pokemon cards taken away from me by my teacher in 3rd grade, so I would say yes.
Yo, that happened to me so many
Absolutely.
times, dude. Oh my god, the teachers were not looking out
Eventually,
for
they're
us.
like, you can't even bring it on the bus, and I'd be like, okay, but why?
No, they did not. They did not, dude. So like
Yeah.
me and my friends back in like elementary school and shit were playing like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, and I had like a little Digivice. I had the Digivices that you could carry around on your belt line.
Yeah.
And my teachers would try to take that shit all the time, and I would just poop in my hand and throw it at them. Our first story today is Walmart confirms it has not suspended the sale of Pokemon cards. So this comes from Jordan Alleman and IGN, and what happened here is that they originally had put out that both Target and Walmart had announced that they were no longer going to be selling Pokemon trading cards, obviously because adults have been acting fools when it comes to Pokemon. And so I think Target...
Like people our age who loved Pokemon in the 3rd grade, and now they're being dicks about it.
Oh, yeah, absolute fucking tools about the Pokemon problem.
It's trauma from their cards being taken away by their teachers, so now
teachers.
they're trying to take them away from other people.
They're like, I gotta have them all now.
Dude, it's bad. Like I when McDonald's was doing the Pokemon card Happy Meals, I bought 2 one day, one for me, one for my daughter, and I felt fucking terrible. I felt bad because I was like, there's some kid somewhere else I could be opening these packs that are not me. And now I feel awful. But now I feel even more awful because I can't find them at Target. But so this article got put out talking about Walmart and Target saying that they weren't going to be doing it anymore. And then it got updated saying that Walmart confirmed that they are in fact going to continue selling Pokemon cards. So I'm going to read off the original and then read off the update. So it reads like this. U.S. retailers Walmart and Target have suspended in-store sales of Pokemon cards and other trading cards due to safety concerns caused by a huge upsurge in demand. As reported by Bleeding Cool, a sign spotted by a customer in New York notes that Target will no longer sell MLB, NFL, NBA, and Pokemon trading cards as of May 14th to, quote, ensure the safety of our guests and team members, end quote. It's clear that renewed interest in the scene is having a negative effect on an in-store conduct amid an uptick in scalping. Fuck those guys. That demand has led not just to bad behavior, but real crime. Vice reports that a fight related to trading cards in a Wisconsin Target parking lot recently led to a gun being drawn, but thankfully not used. Last month in Brunswick, Maine, News Center reports that $20,000 of sports trading cards were stolen. We're going to get to that, I promise. Those increasingly serious events have clearly led to the suspension of sales. Bleeding Cool received a statement from Target saying, quote, "The safety of our guests and our team is our top priority. Out of an abundance of caution, we've decided to temporarily suspend the sale of MLB, NFL, NBA, and Pokemon trading cards within our stores, effective May 14th. Guests can continue to shop these cards online at target.com, end quote." So, update. Walmart has confirmed that it has not issued a chain-wide order to suspend the sale of any trading cards, including Pokemon cards, in light of recent surges in popularity. In a statement to IGN, a Walmart spokesperson says, quote, "We have not suspended the sale of any trading cards. Like other retailers, we have seen increased customer demand, and we are determining what, if any, changes are needed to meet customer demand while ensuring a safe and enjoyable shopping experience." While the statement confirms there is no mandate from Walmart to suspend trading card sales, the earlier reports could suggest some stores may have put up local notices that only apply to their retail location, possibly as a result of the increased demand, which in some cases may have led to violence. Devin, have you ever contemplated just pulling out your piece on a dude with your Pikachu in his hand?
No.
Clarify the piece. Also.
Right. I mean, like, I would argue that Pikachu is worth...
In any context, no.
No, okay. So this is absurd. Not the having to close down some issues when it comes to trading cards and retail stores, but the fact that they even have to is absurd.
I agree with that. I also think this is extremely hypocritical because of Black Friday. Personally, like, Black Friday sales happen, and that's when like the most retail violence happens, is Black Friday. And they don't close down stores. They don't stop selling things because of people freaking out and fighting over stuff. So, yeah. I mean, a guy fucked up and drew a gun, which is fucked up. But like, why are you selling a product anymore when people fight over shit all the time at retail stores? It makes no sense to me. Me personally, I don't even see why they're doing it or why it's even news.
HighxLash, you look like you're about to jump in. What were you going to say?
Yeah.
No, I was just going to agree. And I just feel like it's total bullshit that Walmart was like, we'll still do this nationally because we care about the consumers getting their stuff and their safety. But like you said, Devin, like, look at Black Friday. Do they actually care? When it comes to commerce, in person, at least in my experience, I spent like a decade of my life working in retail and, kind of understanding where each branch, the general manager, the regional managers, like where they're coming from in terms of how they do business. And then after I left retail, I went into the actual corporate business world, and I can confidently say Walmart does not give a shit. They don't give a shit. All they care about is the bottom line. So if they see there's a demand for Pokemon cards, they're going to tease a little bit that they can't do this, they can't do this. So, actually there will be this. So in my opinion, I think it's all marketing ruse. And like Devin said, I don't really think it needs to be news.
Yeah. It's for me, it sucks because, like we talked about earlier, it's like there is a demographic that Pokemon is supposed to be being marketed to, especially the cards when it comes to that. And as someone who's been a very, very long time fan of Magic the Gathering, I understand that there's like an entire economy that is separate when it comes to trading cards. That's like an entire world in and of itself that sort of like flips the stuff upside down. But when it comes to Pokemon specifically, and after having had like huge names, like I think it was Drake that was like opening up packs on like stream or something like that, and then a couple other people started doing it, like the huge massive out of nowhere kind of blow up that happened in the past like year makes this so insufferable, and I can't stand people. Period. And then I also can't stand people that do stupid shit like try to shoot someone over Pokemon cards. It's absurd, dude. Like, I don't.
Violence over a piece of paper that will biodegrade, or maybe not. There might be a plastic coating in the ink, but it's like something that you can literally eat by accident, but you're shooting someone over it.
I know. And it's like,
or like your dog can eat by accident.
Right. Right.
It's just, I think people need to take a step back. Like, I love Pokemon. I have all the games still. Like, I still have my DS Lite and like all that shit, and I still have Sword and Shield, and I still play it. But when it comes to merchandise and stuff, especially if there's violence revolving around the purchasing of it, I could not care. For me, I don't care. Like, it's not worth it. I think I'm also kind of a non-confrontational type of person. So if I see that something weird is happening in that way, I'm just like, I'm not getting involved. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a shit about Pokemon that much. I mean, I do, but I'm not gonna, I don't know, put myself in a position where I can get shot or shoot somebody. I mean, if I'm gonna shoot somebody, it's not gonna be over Pokemon cards. So that's a whole other.
Devin,
HighxLash coming in here. Like, blick it, get.
I'ma shoot you. That's HighxLash. Pokemon cards. Dog, now we have to push the agenda that was actually HighxLash that pulled the gun out in the target Pokemon.
It's a gun made out of white.
No one clip that. Larry, that's a silencer.
Listen, let the record show that HighxLash doesn't like guns. Okay, I don't care if you're a hunter. I really don't like guns. I'll fucking shoot a bow and arrow in your ass. Like,
oh wow!
Oh,
so they just
that takes skill.
They mistook your crossbow as a gun. Apparently, I guess that's what happened. There's a news mix-up.
I knew how to use this because of Link's
real talk,
crossbow
when I was
training.
playing Rust, I still didn't build guns. I was like, I'll do a crossbow, but like the gun is too much. I don't know why.
Wow, HighxLash went in. You were vigilant with your stances, even through your video gaming. I like it.
I am very stubborn. Anybody knows me out there, y'all know I am very stubborn.
The Mighty Phelps in the chat says she's Katniss, and I will take that.
I'll take it. I volunteer streamy.
Yeah, the Pokemon games. It'll be great. Devin, do you want to take on our second story for us, dog?
Yeah. So Catherine Hahn joins Knives Out 2 as cast of Rian Johnson's sequel, and it continues to absolutely rule. This comes from Adam Chitwood from Collider. Just when you think the Knives Out 2 cast couldn't get any more exciting, along comes Catherine Hahn to take things up another notch. Writer-director Rian Johnson has been casting up the sequel this week, adding Dave Bautista, Edward Norton, really into that, and Janelle Monáe to the assembles thus far. And now Deadline reports that Catherine Hahn has joined the cast as well. Daniel Craig repraises his role as the private detective Benoit Blanc, and his
Benoit.
Yeah.
Sexy, I like
but in this follow-up, he's surrounded by a new cast of characters in a brand new setting. Filming is due to begin this summer in Greece, but in surprising mega deal announced earlier this year, Knives Out 2 is being made for Netflix. While Lionsgate distributed the first movie, Netflix paid $450 million for that deal. That will see Johnson writing and directing both Knives Out 2 and Knives Out 3 with complete creative freedom. That's dope. That's dope. Expensive. Holy shit.
Fuck.
That's like more than the first Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hahn is coming off a stellar scene-stealing role in Marvel's first Disney Plus series, WandaVision, which was amazing as the show's primary antagonist. And while her future in the MCU is likely not over, we can look forward to seeing her absolutely kill it in a Rian Johnson
Who done it?
Who done it?
Whodunit
I've never seen that word before.
Who done it? Yeah, it's
Anyways, Han has not so quietly been one of the best performers for her generation for years, nailing comedies like Parks and Rec and Step Brothers, but also turning in incredible dramatic work in projects like Private Life and her HBO series Miss Fletcher.
Which is so
nice.
good.
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it either.
So it's nice to see her getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger roles.
Yes.
So,
Have we all seen Knives Out?
yes.
Oh.
Should I get upset? Should I watch it tonight?
It's so good. It's a lot
really
of
good.
fun. It's a lot of fun, and it isn't what it looks like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it kind of is, but it isn't what it looks like just from like looking at like posters and like ad mats and stuff. Like it is a wild ride. It is a wild ride.
If I get addicted, I'm gonna blame y'all.
It's good. I'm like it's a bit long of a movie because I think it's like 2.5, 2:45, something like right around there. So it's a little bit of a long one, but it's got a lot of like big name actors in this movie, like incredible actors.
If it's good, I honestly like. I've seen like Endgame. I think like 4 times, and it's like 3 hours.
Oh yeah,
I love Interstellar. Is my favorite movie. I think that's.
I love Interstellar. That's one of my favorites.
It makes me cry. I'm playing Subnautica right now, just like offline by myself, and it reminds me so much of Interstellar,
like,
the water planet.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
But Catherine Hahn is such a great actress. Like she is more than that Step Brothers wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fact. Now you said that that show's really good. How long has it been out? Because I feel like I haven't really like heard much about that.
Oh, so this I believe came out 2 years ago, like I think 2019.
Okay.
And she plays a teacher, but she's like recently separated and is, testing out the waters and stuff.
Oh, she's hoeing out. Okay, she's hoeing out.
She's basically like trying getting in touch with her sexy lady side, which she hasn't done in a while, and so it's just like a really. More I'm talking about it, more I'm like, maybe this is like a coming of age women show.
I love it. I love it.
It's kind of like that, but I think it's worth watching. I watched it with my partner.
Awesome. Fuck yeah, I'm down, dude. I gotta watch apparently the Castlevania animated show because Devin is.
Oh, I heard the same.
I haven't watched it yet, and Devin.
It's really good
about it. So because I kicked his ass about watching Invincible, so that's his payback for me. Devin, how are you sitting on this, dude?
I mean, I'm stoked. I always love a really good movie, and there's a lot of really good actors in it already. The last one was really good, had a great cast. There's probably going to be more people that they haven't even talked about yet. They're going to be in Knives Out too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just ready to see it when it's ready, especially now it's going to be on Netflix.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That always makes
that's a day one watch right there.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah. That budget too. Budget for the deal, $450 million is a bonkers amount of money.
That's like, isn't that more than the whole first season of Amazon's Lord of the Rings show?
Yeah, it is. They're I think I was just reading that earlier. It was like $436 million for like the entire, or for every season that they're planning on doing, each season, which is fuck ton of. I can't even fathom that amount of money.
I wonder how many seasons they're gonna do.
I can't understand how we have so much money in places, but there's so much suffering.
I know.
Also,
I know.
Sorry, not to. Anyways, but yeah.
No, it's okay. It's.
I can't comprehend that money.
We're in the same boat. I mean, it's kind of the double-edged sword of like the entertainment world, because it's like we all love that we're getting the entertainment that we're getting, but unfortunately, there's guys like Jeff Bezos that are just sitting on mountains of gold, like fucking Smog, and just bathing in it, and just cheating on his wife, and then bathing in more money, and then.
Getting a yacht during a pandemic where 350,000 people are dying.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. I love that for all of us. It's
sorry.
awesome.
Another thing about me is if you come to my channel, it will eventually be anti-capitalist talk.
That's
I started veering in that direction very early.
comrade.
we love it. We're all about the shits, dude. Like we totally understand. I mean, like it's like I said, it's the crux of it. It's the double-edged sword, because obviously, like as content creators, we have to be involved in a lot of media industry stuff that, like, obviously, you know, we have to, you know. So it's like it's and we all
that's
want
how the
to,
structure is built, and that's how we have to approach the structure.
And unfortunately, the biggest talk of it is how can we change the outcome of the structure so that the money that we are spending on capitalism ventures and stuff like that are going to the right things rather than the wrong things.
Yeah.
Which thankfully, I mean, something like this, you know, that's a lot of fucking money. Now, granted, that is for 2 movies, a deal for 2 movies. I mean, like, we could argue that it's like 225 million per movie. So I guess that would make sense. Netflix is making big dick moves.
Didn't Netflix almost go bankrupt a couple years ago?
I was gonna say, wasn't there like a comedy sketch that was like Netflix has fake money, like they don't actually have money or something like that? Or did I dream that? I might have dreamed. I don't know.
Was it what do they call it on South Park? Theoretical dollars. It's like,
yeah. Oh my God,
that's
I
so
love
funny.
South Park.
That's what I know. How are you, boys? So
oh my God, y'all are my people. I always I feel like I quote South Park a lot, but a lot, you know, some of my friends are younger, so they're just like, oh, and I'm like, oh, never mind.
Uh-oh.
It's very nice to meet you.
Well, very nice to meet you guys. You're the best. My dad grounded me. Okay, so we're gonna
amazing.
I love it. There's probably the chat like, oh Jesus Christ.
South Park, never heard of that band.
Oh my God. Our third and last news story for the day is PlayStation working on 25 PS5 games, and half of them are new franchises. This comes from Wesley LeBlanc at IGN. Before I read this off, though, HighxLash, are you doing console gaming at all? Do you have a console, or are you more just focused on PC?
Great question. I have a PS4 and I have a Nintendo Switch Lite.
Okay.
So honestly, the games that I've had on PS4, I found on sale on stream on PC. So I've basically duplicated everything that I usually play on a PS4 on the PC, so I can either stream or socialize if it's co-op, whatever. And then the Nintendo Switch Lite, that, I know this is going into another segment, but that's basically playing Nintendo all the time was what made me want to be like, oh, maybe I should stream this. And then I found out you can't stream from a Lite.
Yeah. But it's okay.
My partner has the OG Switch, but I don't feel right being like, hey, can I borrow this for the nights that you usually play Smash Bros with your bros? It doesn't feel right.
Yeah, no, I get it. That's why you just gotta like drug them and wait until they fall asleep on the couch. Anyway, so
I mean, at this point, I kind of look at Nintendo games as like my thing. I feel like as a content creator, if you do it for a while, I don't know if you both feel this way, but sometimes you just want something that's just yours, right? Like, not necessarily you don't want to share, but you want to be able to dive in it with the undivided attention, where you can like wander around and look in this corner, see if there's an item there, actually check it. I mean, gosh, I'm very obsessive compulsive, so I try not to play games like that on stream because I like diving deep like that, but it can be boring, right? For somebody watching. And so sometimes after a while, I was like, I just want something that's mine. And that's Nintendo games right now.
That's okay. Yeah, that's totally understandable. I mean, if there's any way to do it, it's definitely Nintendo. You know, like
I love my Switch.
Dude, Stardew every night before bed until I have to pry my eyes are open to try to play.
Oh man, you're on the Stardew boat. That's good. That's a classic.
It sure is.
It sure is. Okay, so the story reads like this. PlayStation Studios head Herman Holst says that they have more than 25 PlayStation 5 games in development, half of which are new IP. As reported by Wired, Holst says PlayStation Studios, which is comprised of development studios like Holst's old stomping grounds, Guerrilla Games, Naughty Dog, Insomniac Games, and more, has more than 25 titles in development for the PS5. Half of these 25 games are said to be new franchises. Did they repeat that like 3 times? I feel like they said that like 3 times.
Yeah.
This doesn't necessarily mean that there are 25 first-party games in the works at PlayStation Studios. Games like Sackboy: A Big Adventure and Returnal were both published under the PlayStation Studios banner, but they were developed by studios not owned by Sony, Sumo Digital and Housemarque in this instance, respectively. This is exciting news, nonetheless, for anyone wondering what Sony is up to beyond Ratchet and Clank. Why can't I read today? Rift Apart, which is set to release next month. Some other titles have been revealed, such as Guerrilla's Horizon Forbidden West, supposedly coming out this year, or even Sony Santa Monica's God of War Ragnarok, which hasn't been discussed at all really since its reveal last year. Beyond those 3 titles, what the rest of PlayStation Studios is up to is anybody's guess. Insomniac is likely working on a full-price sequel to Spider-Man, and Naughty Dog is reportedly chipping away at a remake of The Last of Us, and a multiplayer game set in the world of The Last of Us as well. But there are still many other studios working on projects unknown. Devin, this is in your wheelhouse. I want to start with you here. Where are you sitting on this? Does this move the needle for you?
I mean, yeah, but I mean, I need a PS5.
I know that you're that you're an Xbox guy. I get that. But as far as like the idea of you like really, really wanting to land in a PS5, especially with the Slim, quote unquote, comes out. I mean, like, there's a lot to be had here, you know?
Yeah, there is. There's a lot of old IPs, you know, from like PS2 days or PlayStation days that they haven't, you know, revisited in a while. So they could be resurfacing a lot of that stuff. You know, I would love to see a new Jack and Daxter game. You know, just saying. Yeah. Like, that's Naughty Dog. I mean, it's still their IP. There's no reason why they couldn't revisit something like that. God of War was amazing, so of course I want to play God of War Ragnarok.
Which is going to come out this year.
It's not coming out this year. I'm sorry, it's just not happening.
Not this winter.
No, it's going to be next.
It's coming out this winter. It's great. I'm so excited for God of War Ragnarok to come out this December.
I do hope, though, that they kind of start taking the stance where they're putting all these games on PC, just kind of how like Microsoft is doing, because they've seen how that's been working for Microsoft. So maybe that they might be doing the same, and they've been testing those waters with games like Horizon and Death Stranding. And we know that Final Fantasy 16 is going to be on PC at launch as well, but only exclusive to the PlayStation console, you know? So that makes me more excited knowing that that's the fact. Like, Deathloop will be exclusive to PS5, but will also be on PC.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Same with Ghostwire Tokyo. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
Fair enough. HighxLash, do you plan on getting a PS5? Whenever you can.
This is such an old Asian lady of me to say, but maybe if it's on sale in a few years.
Oh, no!
The Slim model. The Slim. That's what I'm waiting for.
Am I streaming with my mom right now? Oh, my God.
Again, like, all these people fighting dumb.
Oh, my God. I know.
I get it on sale 2 years from now.
Do you have any like PS5 game? Like, I know there's not many that have like come out so far, but do you have one that you're kind of excited for?
I think Life is Strange 3 is coming out on PS5.
True Colors, yeah.
I am so excited for that game. I'll probably not have a PS5. I'll probably get it on PC anyways, and I definitely will stream it. But I'm so fucking excited to have a game where there's a lead Asian American actress or character, and she's not doing martial arts. Has nothing to do with martial arts. She's just a normal person.
A normal fucking person. Which is
with like
good.
A jean jacket. I'm like,
with the jean jacket. I love that detail. You had to make sure you got with the jean jacket.
You know, it's the little details like that where it's not just like, an Asian girl character with like the one stripe color and like tall black boots, and I don't know. It's like I'm trying to think of the cartoon. I don't know. There's different cartoons that do that every time.
Rugrats. Devin names them off. Hey Arnold. Awkward
I don't even know.
Monsters. Angry Beavers.
Wait. Hey Arnold, though, I will say that was ahead of its time.
It was.
Because I rewatched a bunch of episodes, and I'm like, I never realized as a kid that this is a show about inner city kids.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
then I rewatched the episode of I forgot his name, the Korean man who lives in the house too, and how he lost his daughter because of the war and all this shit. I was
right.
like, damn, this on Nickelodeon.
Dude, that
Okay.
show was. It had some moments. It had some moments that
Keep
were
the
real
money.
fucked up. Yeah, dude. Oh my god. Well, I'm excited for this PlayStation stuff myself because like new IPs are always fun. Always fun to talk about. Always fun to like reminisce on and like think about like what they could potentially be working on with that. Like PlayStation has a lot of really, really good partnerships with like third-party studios. They have a lot of really great first-party studios. Like there's so much good shit that's going to come out of this next gen between both PlayStation 5 and Xbox, like with Game Pass and like everything that's going on. It is a fucking good time to be a gamer right now. And I'm like super stoked about it, dude.
And if you don't have Game Pass on PC, I'm still going to drill that into your head, or no, like, what are you doing?
I haven't had the time. I've been busy.
It's $6 a month. And you don't have to buy games, pretty much.
Yeah.
And
You should check your Discord dashboard, because sometimes there's like little redeem things like that. If you have
really?
like, I think if you pay for Discord Nitro, they give you like 1 month free of Game Pass, which I know is only $6, but still.
It's worth it. I mean, just the fact. I mean, we saw them tweeting earlier today. Was it Jeff Grubb said that Starfield's going to be exclusive to Xbox and PC, but it's also going to be day one on Game Pass. Games are like $70 now. It's a good way to save money and also get in on day one. Yeah. Final Fantasy X and X-2 just hit Game Pass as well, the remaster. It was just released on there.
And I'm actually like, if there's any game I'm going to probably hit first, it's definitely FF10.
That's one I have on PS4 that I still play.
I got it on Switch. It's the perfect Switch game.
How is it for Switch? Like, how's it look?
It's amazing. It looks better than it did on PS2.
Oh, fuck.
That's for sure. Yeah.
What about like the sound? Do you wear headphones when you play, or do you just kind of use the external speakers?
I've done it every single way, whether it's docked or just handheld, and it's good all the time. Good. I mean, the speakers on the Switch are actually pretty good.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Like I've played a lot, at least for the OG Switch. I don't know about the Switch Lite, really.
My favorite part of those remasters was like the do-over of the music. It was like less MIDI sounding and more cinematic.
Yeah, more like full orchestral.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Why are you
What's
laughing?
up? Yeah, what's
Devin said I've done it every sort of way, and I've just been dying on the inside.
Get your mind out of the
I'm like, yeah, totally.
Let it slowly melt my fucking brain while I heard him say that. That was great, dude. I love it. I love you guys. You guys are the best. This is great. This is awesome. This is a good time.
But yeah.
Good time.
You know what else is a good time, though? Is talking about some things that we like to watch and play. So this is our second segment of the show where we talk about things that we have been consuming media-wise, or food-wise. If we like to talk about food, we can talk about that too. But this is essentially where we try to sell the viewers at home and each other on something that we've recently watched or experienced, and want to kind of talk about. So HighxLash, you are our guest. We want to start with you. What is one game or movie or show that you recommend for people?
Okay, so if I have to pick one, well, okay.
Let's start with something recent. Let's start with something recent.
Okay, something recent. There's a movie called Minari that an actor called Steven Yeun's in.
The King.
And I recently rented it. It's on Amazon Prime. it is $20 to rent, but if you
Worth
think
it.
about it, if you're watching it with the person, that's a movie theater experience, right? Because it's also in literal theaters right now.
Yeah.
So it's worth the cost. Anyway, so we watched it, and especially if you're an Asian American, you need to watch it because it's one of those movies that makes you feel like heard in such a way, but also like make you laugh in such a way where it feels like an inside joke, but it's in a movie. But it's also heartbreaking because if you have immigrant parents, you know how fucking hard things can be. There were way too many parallels of the family dynamic to my specific family. Like at one point, their grandma lives with them and my grandpa lived with us. And it was like, the kids and the grandparents and like, it was the same shit at my house. But anyway, and if you're not an Asian American, I really think it's worth looking into because it's about a Korean family who moved to America to have a better life. Then they have kids. They end up living in California, but then moving to Arkansas because it's cheaper to live in Arkansas and have a big plot of land, right? And the main character was basically like, I want to do something amazing. I want a big farm, but we're going to do like Korean fruits because, the very few Korean people that are here or marketers or suppliers, they're going to want to buy from us. So now it's this big actual American dream. And it's just kind of like a sociological view on looking at the American dream and then trying to follow through with it when you have no capital. Oh, it's so good.
It was really good.
You watched it?
Yes, I finally
Did you
got
cry?
I
to
haven't seen it yet.
some days ago. I cried twice. I
did too.
Yeah, and I don't want to. We're against spoilers. So I'm not going to say where I cried.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure you know the two parts I'm talking about.
Yep.
It is phenomenal. Devin, yeah, watch it.
Yeah, I need to watch it. It's on my list, especially after seeing like all the I didn't even know about it until the Oscars, and I saw all the like recognition it was getting there, and I was like, okay, I need to watch this.
You see
And
it?
I will say, like, the price was apprehensive for me. So if anybody is cost conscious, know that although that is a little expensive, the quality that you'll be getting is great.
The experience is worth it. And that's kind of like the argument that I've
agree.
been having with people about like the Disney Plus premium thing is like, if you're in a situation that you can split the price with someone else that you're watching it with, like a family member, like a close friend or something that you're okay with not social distancing with, it's definitely worth it. Even if you're on your own, there's some pieces of content that are absolutely worth that premium price. Like Ray and the Last Dragon was worth it for me.
I still need to see that.
It's good. It's so good. It was worth it for me because as like a father of a mixed AAPI child, like it was important to me to get her to like have an entryway into her culture after having had, seen like Moana, because there's an entire other side of my genealogy that is not an Islander, and so like having her being able to sort of experience like a little taste of the multitude of Asian culture that they sort of just like crop in together was awesome. And that was sort of the exact reflection of my perspective on Minari was like you said, it felt like being heard. It felt like being felt. It felt like having someone speak about the experience, and that was dope. It was worth every fucking dollar.
Yeah, even just like, there's something in the trailer, so this isn't a spoiler, but the little boy's like, I thought you were a grandma. Grandmas are supposed to bake cookies and not gamble and swear. And I was like, oh,
yeah.
Asian grandmas, they be gambling and swearing up a storm. They don't give a shit.
That's facts. Yeah. Do you have any others that you want to talk about today, or?
Oh, I wanted to talk about a game. The other game is, I've been playing a lot of Subnautica. I just feel like we were talking about Game Pass earlier on Microsoft Store. It was on sale. I don't know if it still is, but I nabbed it because it's a lot full price. So I just like kind of grabbed it on a whim, and I needed again something that was solo that I wanted for my own. And that game does a really good job at making you feel isolated and reminding you that you're on an adventure by yourself.
It looks horrifying. Looks fucking horrifying.
Yeah. But if you're into sci-fi, like I love sci-fi, it piques your curiosity. Like you're like, oh wait, there's another fucking life pod over here. Wait, it's down over here. Wait, is that a shark? Like, it's like that's the type of horror I will play. Like if it's something that is not like gory and zombie or whatever, like somebody chasing. If it's not a chasing type of thing, then I will play it. Because when you're playing Subnautica, you're doing all this discovery, you can run into apex predators, but they'll leave you alone if you don't get in their way. It's kind of the same thing as Earth nature? You know
nature,
what I mean?
nature, Earth nature, Mars nature too. Yeah, Mars nature.
So if anybody hasn't played it yet, I believe it was on sale. I don't know if it still is, but it's worth it if you want some solo game time.
Honestly, I think it is probably one of the most Devon-ass games ever. It's not for me because I love
survival and building.
my island blood is kind of like anything that is deeper than 6 feet. No. No thanks. No thanks.
Too real.
No, there's always a bigger fish thing is a mantra. But Devin, yeah, you gotta play that, man.
Yeah, I've looked at it because I do play DayZ a lot on PC. So I've definitely looked at Subnautica, but
if you have the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I might have to. Warning,
it is one of those games where if you're in it, you are dead to the world. Like 3 hours will go by and you're like, what happened?
That is DayZ, like to a T. Like DayZ is a day sinker.
That's what I was saying. Like that's a Devin ass type of game. That's the kind of game that Devin likes to get lost in for 3 hours before he flips over to another 3-hour game he's gonna play.
Oh, yeah. So Devin, I'm the same way. Before Subnautica, it was Rust. I just played Rust all day, every day. It was bad. I got nothing done.
Gamer problems. Yeah, gamer problems.
Yeah, for real.
I get it.
Yeah, as I stare at my backlog and it intensifies.
Continues to grow every week.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I hate it. Devin, what is something you want to talk about today, baby?
So I've been really excited because I finally was able to start Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
The Wiggles. You watch The Wiggles.
The Wiggles, yes.
And
Hot potato.
Yeah, I know. Dude, yes, talk about it. Talk to us. Don't talk to me about.
I'm not going to give any spoilers away. I mean,
dude,
even though a lot of people have already played it.
Hype me up, Devin. Hype me up because I'm playing in T-minus 3 hours. I need the hype.
Okay. So the original Mass Effect, I'm pretty sure it came out in like 2007, 2008 is about when it came out.
Right.
The retexturing they did is amazing. I've been playing on my Series X 4K 60 and you can see the pores, you can see the different like texturing on like the different kind of metals and fabrics like that, clothing and stuff like that. The environments are better and like ray tracing is huge, like just the way that reflection works on the different kinds of surfaces and the way that it's different depending on the surface, whether it's like light reflecting off of glass or reflecting off of metal or seeing a reflection of something, which is just like a technical achievement, in my eyes, because like we're just now starting to experience the first stages of ray tracing really. And there's a whole another 7 years for developers to perfect that. And the fact that this is a remaster and not just a straight up remake, but the game looks 100 times better. Huge to me,
Yeah.
The voice acting and the cast is really good. They remastered all the sound design too. And it's just really good to be back in that world. It's space opera. I'm ready to sink, 200 plus hours into it.
Yeah, dude. I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I've been itching to play for the past couple of days, and I'm like, I finally get to experience it myself. It's gonna be so much fun, dude.
You played Knights of the Old Republic, right?
Yes, I played KOTOR.
Yeah. So a lot of the systems will be very similar, honestly. Okay. Like especially for the first one, because it's the same team that did that.
Yeah.
So it's really good. The combat can be slightly clunky because it's like one of the first third person shooters of its time, Like but it's still more fluid than it used to be.
Okay.
You know, it definitely holds up nowadays. Like you can play it. Like with some of the games we play, man, you could definitely play this. No problem.
For sure. Yeah, I know. I'm getting okay at Apex now, so I can definitely do this.
Yeah. But and it's all decision based. So all the decisions you make throughout the game carry over to each installment too.
Yes. So, I love it.
Yeah. So you'll like it. Other than that, I've just been grinding out a ton of Apex.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, you fucking have. Jesus Christ.
Sarah got me back into Call of Duty. Sarah Dope, who we had on last week. Yeah. I started playing with her and her friends, and it's been fun.
Apex and Call of Duty. How dare you?
Hey, it's fun, man. And other than watching, I started Castlevania Season 4, and I'm only 2 episodes in, and everybody should watch that show because it's great, and it's graphic, it's gory, it lives up to Castlevania, and there's a ton of lore in it, and a really good story.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
So, it's real good. Yeah.
Ernell hasn't watched it.
I haven't watched it yet. And I love the Castlevania games. I just don't know why I never got around to watching the show. I don't know what it is.
It got a 9 out of 10 from IGN.
It got
Season 4 did.
Crazy reviews. Everyone was saying that it was good when the first season came out. I just don't know why I didn't pick it up. I might have been just real busy, just drinking Four Locos in my butt. I don't know. It's just for context in chat and viewers at home, we were talking about that off camera, but during our pre-segment, it was
he was reminiscing about his childhood.
Oh wow, childhood. That was my like early college days. So yeah, childhood, I guess. I'm like 50 now. It's great.
Honestly, I do see college freshmen now, and I'm like, damn, you're like an actual child.
I know,
right?
How are you supposed to pick a career right now? Jeez.
Remember being like 19, 20, thinking that you rule the whole world, and then you're like, man, I'm 29 now.
Oh yeah, I thought for a second you were saying like living in 1920, and I was like, what does that have to do with college?
Dude. Wait, you guys didn't live in 1920?
I was like, a lot of people thought they ruled the world at 1920. That's
19.
A lot of really bad people thought they ruled the world in 1920.
Oh man.
Oh my god, Devin, have you been watching anything else, dude?
Not really. I've been doing a lot of gaming on my free time. I mean, outside of working and doing our shows and, all the music shit that I've been doing lately, I pretty much have only been gaming, not really watching a whole lot of stuff this week. I finished Invincible before our last show, and I just kind of took a little bit of a break over the last few days, watching stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I'm kind of in the same boat as you. Sorry, was that HighxLash?
Oh, no, sorry. You can go on. It was irrelevant.
No, it's okay. It's always relevant. You're always relevant.
Yeah.
I was just being nosy and asking what you did for music, but then, sorry.
It's okay.
I'm about to release a couple songs here soon, so just getting like an animated video together for one and planning for another music video. I'm not, but the guy that I commissioned to do the work is
nice.
And stuff. Yeah. And then I have another band that's just practicing a lot, and then another one that's starting up. So
he's
just way too busy.
See, and it's a testament to like how we also like consume our media, because I'm in one band and that is more than enough for me. Just the same way that I can't really play more than one game at a time. And Devin will take on 8 games at a time and 5 bands and 3 cans of Four Loko and
oh God. I don't drink. I probably had like maybe 3 cans of Four Loko in my life. I never got into it.
Don't lie. It's okay. Yeah, you've only drank in 3, but you butt chugged 8. That's
Who am I, Steve-O?
I mean, I'd argue that you got Steve-O vibes. I'm down, dude. Everyone loves Steve-O.
All right. Let me show you guys how I do it.
He's like, tourists take this photo.
Never. You talked me into it.
Right? Here's your demonstration. Welcome to the Good Butthole Show. So
Oh my God.
I have not.
Wait, can I tell a really quick story?
Do it.
Go
I
for
don't
it.
have anything that I really like had to talk about this week. So go on. Do it.
There's a bidet company called Tushy or whatever, and we got a bidet last year because we were like, there's a TP shortage, like let's get one of these. But if you go to their website, they're like, we released new products, and they're like, portable bidet. And you know what that portable bidet is? It's a fucking squirt bottle.
I will say, I'm a big proponent of the bidet, and people
Hell
should
yeah.
have bidets. You'll never be
Should
cleaner.
they have portable bidets?
It's just
Tushy.
like, when you go with
Endorse
the bidet, you can't go back, right? So like even sometimes when we go on vacation and stay in an Airbnb, I'm like, oh, I miss the bidet.
Literally went to my boss at work. I'm like, hey, we should get a bidet put in the bathroom.
Oh my God. I heard you could get a 24 pack of portable bidets at Winco. It's lit. Is that at Walmart? Yeah. I see. I think they're called like Aquafina or something like that.
I use Arrowhead.
Oh, that's like the worst one. That's like the worst. Please don't tell me you get Arrowhead.
That's the joke.
Okay. Thank God. Thank God.
I use Four Loco.
HighxLash is just pouring for Loco in her hand and splashing it up her butt.
Four Loco now comes in squirt bottles.
The next day, everyone's like, why do you look like you're glowing?
I use Dasani because that's all it's good for. The Mighty Felt.
What are those purple stains on your lower back? They're just like, God, that's terrible. That's terrible. I love it. This is a good time. This is awesome.
This is off the rails, and I
show
love
is
it.
fucking chaos. I can't believe people watch this.
I'm sorry, I bring the chaos sometimes.
Well, it's okay. We also do, which is why this is a storm that was waiting to happen. But speaking of storms, HighxLash, let's talk about you, because this is our third and headlining segment of the show where we get to focus on our lovely guest and ask you lots of questions to get to know you a little bit better. So, gonna kind of start off here to kind of like get the ball rolling. You said you've only been streaming for, well, you said 9 months now, just about. Yeah.
Yep.
What got you started into streaming?
Okay, so first, did you have anything that you watched or played that you want to talk about? Because I feel like
she's trying to
Oh
stall.
yeah, you
She's trying to
just
stall.
watched over your segment there.
No, that's
boy.
what I was
Sorry,
saying.
sorry.
That's what I was saying earlier, that I didn't really have anything that
Okay.
that I had to talk about this week, because
Okay.
yeah, no. I've just been I've been so busy, like outside of like finishing RE Village and like playing Apex with Devin, because I've been trying so hard to like get better at this fucking game.
Respect that. I don't play shooting games or shooting. No, I'm a fake
I play
gamer.
lots of
Girl.
shooty. I play lots of shooties.
Lots of shooties. I like shooties when they're necessary into shooties, you know, and Apex is a fun shooty. Is that we're gonna call that
That's a
genre
good
now?
shooty.
A bang bang.
Yeah.
We're gonna call that bang bang.
Yeah, no, it's no longer a first-person shooter. We're just calling them shooties.
Shooties. Boom, 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 boom.
That's a grenade launcher.
Have you seen the video that we've been talking about, HighxLash?
No.
I will link you.
I will because it's amazing. It's beautiful. It also is so us. It's so us. I hate it. Yeah, I haven't really had anything that I've like dived into, because I've just been so busy with like the couple of things we have been playing. I am meaning to start Castlevania probably tonight. And then I also need to start the Bad Batch, because I'm like 3 episodes behind on that now, and I need to catch up on that. That's the new Star Wars spin-off show on Disney, and so I gotta caught up on that because I'm trying to keep up with the Star Wars world. So yeah, not really much. I know, I'm just really excited about Mass Effect. tonight. I'm just really
Yeah.
stoked I'm on it.
It's
I'm
so
excited
good.
for you. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm gonna lurk hard because if it looks like a game that I will enjoy, I'll probably end up.
Yeah,
Um,
if you're a story game person too, like I'd
oh,
probably say.
no.
It got a 91 on Metacritic. The Legendary Edition did. It is the highest rated game this year so far.
There you go. There you go.
Amazing.
There you go.
Awesome.
Yeah, watch some gameplay. Then you and I will play it parallel, experience it together. It'll time. We can get back together when we.
One of you guys need to be Renegade, and one of you guys need to be Paragon.
Oh, that's okay. So what I've heard is that Renegade and Paragon are sort of like the moral scale. So like, basically pick like if you're gonna be an asshole or if you're gonna be like a morally good person. I don't know what level of chaos you're trying to choose, but what do you think you would do?
Play a game like D&D. I usually go with the chaotic character.
Yes, fuck yes. I'm always the good guy.
All right.
Perfect.
So the Renegade thing is really cool because in Mass Effect 2, when you're Renegade, you have scars and they like glow like orange and like they make you look evil, kind of like in Fable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's fucking cool. Do I get anything good for being the good guy? Do I get a cool look?
No.
You get 4 lookers. That's what you get. Anyway,
I will say when you play Paragon, more of your companions survive.
Oh, okay.
That's what you get. Yeah.
Okay. Which is kind of, I think that's kind of how it works when you're an asshole. You don't get quite as many. Which is why I picked to be the good guy because I'm an asshole in real life. So it's like, not really. I'm okay. I'm all right on all right days, but.
But anyways,
HighxLash, my friend.
Yes.
Why did you start streaming? What got you into this game?
All right. So basically, as I'm sure many people can probably relate, last year around March of last year, I was furloughed from my full-time job. And I basically spent a lot of my time just like waiting to hear back because they were like, we definitely, long story short, they basically were like, anybody who's furloughed, we're definitely getting you back, blah, blah, blah. Turns out they didn't make enough revenue to hire like 60% of the people they furloughed. And I ended up eventually getting laid off in September. Between March and I think July-ish, I basically spent all of my time. If anybody has depression, you kind of may understand when you just don't have the energy to do anything except lie down. Like, so I just spent a lot of time either in bed lying down or in the couch lying down playing Animal Crossing. And I literally have over 700 hours in Animal Crossing because it came out around the same time when I got furloughed, and that was just the way I disassociated and coped. And after a while, I basically was like, if I'm playing video games all day, why am I gonna like just do this by myself? Like, I should try Twitch if I'm playing it anyways. And if nobody wants to be my friend, then whatever, you're playing alone anyways. And so it was just kind of something that I jumped into because I was in a really low point in my life. And growing up first generation American, the one thing that your parents tell you is what, like, do good in school so you can get a good job and, live your fucking life out. But as we know, as millennials, and as we know how the economy works, that's not necessarily how it goes. And so I just feel like without my full-time job, without having something that I was really giving all of myself to, I felt lost. I was like, I'm not working. What am I doing? And then I would put myself to work in Animal Crossing. I literally built so many orchards and fucking just I now it's too overwhelming to even open up the file because I'm like, everyone in that town's gonna yell at me and there's gonna be weeds everywhere and I just can't. So that's kind of how I got into streaming. But ironically, I wasn't able to stream anything Nintendo anyways. I was also playing a lot of Zelda Breath of the Wild. That was like one of the before bed, can't sleep, we'll just stealthily throw bombs at monsters for an hour, see if it'll knock their HP down. Yeah, and then, shortly after I got my PC, that's kind of when I started getting into PC gaming. Like, I have a really good friend who was leading a World of Warcraft guild. So I joined his guild and we played WoW, and I started streaming WoW and like Divinity Original Sin. That was another one that I was playing. But I feel like I didn't really understand the groove of Twitch or like what I was doing in terms of content creation, like, because I was just playing a game and I didn't have like the two to feel connected. And then the more I dived into like storytelling games like Life is Strange and stuff like that, I've been able to kind of understand how to share that experience with people, like in chat and stuff like that. Because before, I feel like I'd just play a game and I'd be silent, whatever, and just like do that. But yeah. So anyway, I started streaming because I was jobless.
In summary, lost my job.
Yeah. I needed something to do, and now you know all the context of why.
yeah, no, for
It's
sure.
a fun thing to do.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect to actually do anything with it, let alone do art on stream. Like, so before I got furloughed, I worked for a design and print company. So I worked a lot with graphic designers, and I learned a lot from them, and I've learned so much about print and stuff like that. When I was doing shit on Twitch myself, I was like, oh, do I have to buy this so that I can choose overlays and this and that? And then I realized, wait, I know how to do this. Like, I was already doing this at my last job. Why don't I just do that shit for myself? And it's been so fun to be able to use the skills that you get from a boring corporate job and then apply it to yourself, and then like do something creative and be happy with it, like you're only answering to yourself.
Yep. Yeah, that's facts. It's also stressful as fuck. It's stressful as fuck.
Oh yeah. The stress is definitely something that I would still take on over the stress that I had like in my 15 years in the corporate world. So, or like not 15, 10 years.
Yeah.
65 years. You're in.
Yeah, no, I was like, wait, I'm not that old. Like, I was 21. Yeah.
No, you're only 18. It's fine. You're okay. All right.
I'm 11.
You're 8 years old. You're 8 years old.
Takes a drink.
Just air. You're air. Yeah. I'm 11. Devin, do you have one?
Yeah, I mean, so like, what has your experience as an AAPI woman in content creation been like so far? Like, have you experienced any lows, any like really good highs? Like, what has that been like for you?
Oh man, that is a loaded question.
I
mean, you asked me a simple question and I gave you a loaded answer anyway.
Which is good.
Yeah, so I don't even know how to start to answer this, but I'll say I feel like in the gaming sphere and in the Twitch sphere, there's a lot of the culture is loving Asian stuff, right? Anime and whatever else. So I feel like coming into this type of scene as an Asian woman is I'm honestly a little weird, because it's hard to tell when somebody is treating you like I used to joke that I was like a discount waifu, right? Because I'm like, this has so many levels. Like, I'm not actually a waifu, but like, since I'm Asian American, you're gonna think so. But like the discount card because I'm Southeastern region, you know what I mean? Like, I used to to like make that joke because I'm just like it's odd because not only like do a lot of like white Americans or white Europeans or whoever on Twitch, like when they think of Asian culture and stuff like that, they might think of anime and then they might think of subsequential East Asian stuff. Now I'm coming in here as not only an Asian American woman, but as a Southeastern Asian American woman. So it's navigating the dynamics with white feminists, right? And it's also navigating the dynamic with cis heterosexual men who may be hypersexualizing Asian women. Like it's really hard to kind of like tread through all of it and try to hold on to anything that's genuine because a lot of it feels like I don't want to say like China doll, but a lot of it feels like when you're an Asian woman in this industry, you're a novelty, right? You're not a person, you don't feel things. You're just the face, the brand, and whatever. And so I feel like when I ran into that, it was especially illustrated when I ran into a situation where somebody I don't want to go too much into it, but let's just say there was a Caucasian person who fetishizes Asian people, but they actually treated actual Asian people as less than human because it was always something that they loved, like like BTS, like the Korean guys or whatever, and this and that, like and Joji, I love Joji and this and that. But when you're actually talking to Asian American women like me or other Asian guys who you may have dated, it's like your brain short circuits when Asian people have their own mind and can stand up for themselves. Like, how dare you? And so it's hard for me not to feel like I have to live up to some sort of friendly, meek type of personality. But I mean, as y'all have spent a couple hours now, that's not me. But it's weird. It's just like it's such an interesting. Like, I really think that I could like write about it, but I think the only people who would understand it is other Asian women. Like a good friend of mine, Kuya_Allen on Twitch.
Yes, I need to talk to him sometime.
Dude, yes, I love Kuya. So he's Filipino, right? So he's also dark skinned, not East Asian, and we have these conversations all the time. And he'll, straight up be like, "I can't imagine if this is what I'm going through, where these women fetishize me because I'm whatever Asian, I have tattoos, I skateboard, whatever. I can't imagine what it's like for you as an Asian woman in the gaming community." And I'm like, thank you for saying that, because I feel like a lot of white women are just like, you get a lot of attention. And it's like, we didn't ask for that, Like, if I could write about it, I feel like the only people who could understand is other Asian women. And it's like that week that all those Asian women were attacked. What was it, in Georgia?
Yeah.
I felt like that week was the one time I heard so many Asian women speaking up about their experiences in a way that I felt like I was just being,
validated.
I felt validated, but I thought before I was validated that I was just having like crazy thoughts. I was being too sensitive and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so now, after the fact, I can like confidently say it's just a weird thing to navigate. I don't think anybody else would understand.
Yeah.
Besides other Asian women in this space.
Yeah. No, I mean, like that makes sense. It sucks. Like you said it exactly earlier. It was like the issue of being noveltyized.
Listen, the biggest stream night of my entire Twitch was the night I cosplayed as Chun-Li and played Street Fighter all night. Yeah. People were going crazy. And like, in a way, I'm like, I love Street Fighter. Chun-Li's my girl. Like, I've always wanted to be her, whatever. Right. But then on the other side of it, I'm like, some of these people throwing me money are just kind of looking at me as a discount waifu. You know what I mean? It's so weird.
It's the problem. It's exactly what you're trying to say. And it's like, as someone that like as an Asian American man, Asian American Pacific Island man. Like I see the kind of suffering that like my mother and my sisters and like my friends and the people that I care about and the people that I don't even fucking know. Like I tell Devin sometimes that like some dudes I see in like the comments and chats of other people's streams and like even last night we were watching some girl streaming and some dude was acting a fucking fool in her chat, like being like, oh, can we go out sometime, or like, can I get your number? And it was fucking embarrassing. And then just like people in like Facebook comments and stuff like that, and just like, and this girl was a woman of color, and so it's like, you know, you see like this sort of this sort of
Chizing of women of color.
yeah, and then with the specific topic of Asian women, it's like this goes way deeper than just content creation too, because Asian women have of always been a novelty for, you know, straight white men. You know, like we, as someone who's Filipino, I see it very often, having had gone to the Philippines and seen the amount of white men that
who go there for wives,
there for a wife to bring them back to the country, and these women that are there do it because they want to get out of a third world country. And you know, and it's a terrible sort of like cyclic thing that, you know, we can obviously dive deeper into on for hours going into that conversation.
We could talk about the Korean War and how they had comfort women.
Yeah, you know, and it's in history. It's embedded in white America's history, and it hasn't gone away. It hasn't gone away for like such a big extent. There are so many dudes who are out here acting a fucking idiot, and just it's terrible.
I'll say, like, on the record though, my community is great because we bite that shit. What is that saying? Nip it in the bud. Nip it in the bud. What do they say?
We bite that shit. Devin, that's our new one. We bite that shit.
Oh, sorry. We nip that in the bud, and we don't take kindly to shit like that. Especially me. Like, I feel like hopefully y'all, after speaking with me after a couple hours, you can kind of see like I have a very platonic approach. So whenever somebody tries to test that boundary with me, to try to like flirt with me in a weird way that I don't know you like that, so you can't joke with me like that, I will take care of that and make them remember that I can emasculate you.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like what you have to do, right? When you're a woman of color, you've been oppressed for whatever, and you've been through shit, and now there's some dude hopping in your chat being dumb. You're just like, no.
You have to weaponize it. You have to weaponize it sometimes.
And that's when I say like really mean your mom jokes to them, and that's usually when they'll leave me alone.
I love it.
Or like I'll make jokes about fucking their dad, and then they'll leave me alone.
I love it. What did you say, Devin?
I was just gonna say I love ripping people apart who are acting a fool.
Oh, yeah, always 100%. Me and Devin will be there to just troll the fuck out of anyone who's trying to act like an idiot. Like, we will go down in history for that, man. I'll tell you. So, I mean, you kind of answered like one of the other questions I was gonna sort of ask you. So I'll kind of jump into this question here. What would you like to see from platforms like Twitch to like better handle representation with AAPI women on their platforms?
So
Four Loko.
I don't want free Four Loko, but friendly ones.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my god.
Bite it in the butt. You want Twitch to bite them in the butt?
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
Anyway. Okay, so I will say I have a lot of opinions on how certain platforms should be run. So I don't want Twitch to think this is an attack. It's more of a criticism, right?
Of course.
I feel like Twitch can do a lot more. So let me actually back up. I had a cis male friend, ask me, what can I do to be a better ally? And I was like, first off, I can't believe you're fucking asking me that. I didn't say that, but I was like, the best thing you can do is not yell at old people on Facebook. The best thing you can do is have a fucking conversation. You hear somebody saying something like a microaggression, even if it's like a teeny tiny thing. Somebody says like "me love you long time," you could just step in and be like, "Yo, maybe don't say that. It's not cool. You know that's like pretty racist." You know what I mean? Like in a way that's human. If you can make that connection with the other human and let them know that it's fucked up, I feel like that's the best way to be an ally, because it's not a left versus right. It's not like a whatever. It's just kind of like a dude, don't be an idiot. So with that being said, I feel like platforms like Twitch, there's a lot that could be done in terms of having that conversation. They've had some AAPI creators on their front page, right? They've had, I think, some other creators featured, but what I would love to see is them having like a, like they have town hall meetings sometimes. They talk about different policies and this and that, and how that will affect how Twitch will go moving forward. I feel like they could really benefit from having that sort of town hall with users, with consideration of not just Asian Americans, but like, Black people and other non-white people on the platform, because right now we're the only ones speaking for ourselves.
Yeah.
If they were to able to open up the conversation, and I say open up the conversation because I don't mean slap us on an ad, slap a campaign or marketing campaign. You know what I mean? I actually mean make it something that we're talking about on the community, on the platform, so that people aren't just like, oh, I came here for games, not to discuss race. It's like, actually, if you care about this space, this is what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I know that being in the business world, that takes a lot of infrastructure work on the back end. But I think moving forward, it could be something that would be worth doing, even if they just start with like a small committee and they take question submissions and stuff like that, and then try to pick out the most relevant ones to Twitch and what some users are going through. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair. I don't feel like that's too much to ask for at all, honestly. I mean, like Twitch has been doing a really, really good job. There's still more that can be done, which is why we ask this question. It's like, the idea of making these kind of conversations a normal part of gaming is the only way we're going to get those grandma's basement trolls to better understand.
And it's intersected in the games too, right? Because when we have these conversations as a normal space in gaming, then you don't have characters that are white in a game with cornrows or whatever the fuck happened. What was that? Was that Apex?
No,
Overwatch.
That was Overwatch. Yeah. Yeah, with May.
And just like stuff like that, where so many BIPOC people on Twitter are like, how did this get passed? How did this get passed and then get released? Like, if there was somebody who could just be like, hey, maybe don't go with this idea because, we've had these conversations. I don't know. That's just how I feel. If we normalize just talking about stuff, I feel like it'll be a lot less hard and people will have their walls down a little bit more and it'll be less volatile.
Yeah. Okay. Devin, do you got another one for
her? Yeah, I mean, if you have an opportunity to tell your 14-year-old self one thing to help teach you about your life to come, what do you tell her?
My 14-year-old. First of all, get out of the hardcore scene.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah, okay.
Second off, being straight edge is not that cool. Third off, relax. College is going to happen, and you don't need to be the best, because at the end of the day, you're going to be on the internet like everyone else who didn't go to college.
Yo.
I didn't go to college.
Yeah.
See, like, so I say all the time, like, if and whenever I have kids, like, I'm not going to be the parent, like the tiger mom that pushes college. I'm not going to do it. But I will be like, you have to do something, whether it's music or something. Like, find a hobby, a passion, like find something that sparks joy. But I don't want to have to push you into debt because of some institutional notion that we think is going to actually drive us forward. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I regret so much that I went to a private college. I had an amazing education, but I definitely don't think that it's something that I will repeat to my future offspring.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, even Devin knows, like, I have an associate's that I like don't even use really at all.
I have a bachelor of science. I have a bachelor of science in sociology, in women and gender studies.
Yes.
And I'm on Twitch.
And now you're on Twitch. Yeah. It happens. I mean, that's college, the college institute for you.
And of course, my parents are like, "Well, if you became a lawyer, doctor, engineer, then you wouldn't be in this situation."
So my moms were lawyer, doctor, and architect. That's what
yes,
were.
That is a good one.
Yeah. See, Devin's dad was a musician. Yeah.
Yep.
So he
awesome.
He got the good end of that stick. So he had
I can't wait to be an art mom.
There you go.
It's gonna be great, dude.
Live, laugh, love everywhere.
No.
I'm kidding.
Just no, it's actually plants. Plants are the thing, right? Is that an art mom thing? Is plants? Do you feel like you're having a plant like moment in your life? I don't know if you're in the plant mode yet.
So if I didn't have 2 young cats, I would normally say yes. But ever since we got them, any plant in this apartment does not last. Like, we bought a bunch of cat-friendly plants, and it's just like,
and they were not
I don't
friendly.
know. I'm like lurking on Twitch for 10 minutes, and all of a sudden I hear a crash, and I'm like, what? And it's always a potter, like a plant potter, that they've either knocked over or dug through first and then knocked over. It's whatever. they're like barely they're barely adults. They're still kids. Yeah. So whatever.
Dude,
they do that thing when you tell them no and they have their
and they look at you and they're
cats, young cats especially, are in like permanent fuck it mode. They don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about your stuff.
And I have a dog, and they don't give a shit about her. They're like, I'm grabbing your neck, I'm licking your ear, and you're gonna like it. Yeah. My dog's looking at me like, save me.
Yeah, dude, cats will just fuck you up for no reason, man. Just look at you at night. The little cat hand thing, like you look at her wrong. Like I had a cat for a while. Her name was Kyrie from Kingdom Hearts. It was great. She was cute. Yeah. She was adorable.
Does she have big boots too?
she had big cute blue eyes. It was adorable. She was a sweetheart. But then unfortunately she ran away from home. She got outside and never came back. And I live in a really part of Portland, so like she was gone. I was like, I'm never gonna see her again, and I didn't.
Probably getting fed and pet still on a sidewalk somewhere, because every time I go to Portland, there's sidewalk cats.
Oh yeah,
they're all over the place. Yeah.
I'm like, you're letting me pet you? I don't know whose you are, but thank you.
Yeah. Like, take me home so I can knock over your plants. It's
So yeah, I would have a plant moment if I could help it, but. That is not an option right now.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, our last real question here that we have for you is, what is one detail that you feel is gravely overlooked when it comes to being an AAPI woman in content creation and in general?
We have personalities.
Oh, who would have thunk, right? Human beings
we have personalities, opinions. We have dark skin, believe it or not. We have wavy hair, and some of us are loud, and you're gonna have to deal with that. I don't know. Honestly, that's I feel some type of way about that, but that's the strongest that I feel in terms of what people forget. And you know why too is because when I do assert myself, if it's the first time, sometimes it takes people off guard, and then they feel some type of way about me. And I don't know. I don't know how to navigate that, but my therapist says just stick with that healthy boundary.
Mm-hmm. Just knock those motherfuckers out verbally, obviously, and maybe physically in the right circumstances.
Can I ask you a question?
What?
I'm gonna ask both of you a question.
Okay.
What?
So first,
Now,
what do you think is a detail that is often overlooked as an Asian American man?
good question. I mean, there's a lot of things I feel like are overlooked as being an Asian in general. As far as being an Asian Asian American man specifically, I'd say that we genuinely care about the Asian women that are around us, and I feel like that is misunderstood as quote unquote simping a lot of times. Yeah,
It's really dumb. You know what it is? Sorry, I'll just say one thing. I think it's unfair how much like white America paints a idea about an Asian man and then just sticks to that, because that's not simping. I feel like I've seen that even for like white girls that Asian men are just friends with or whatever, or respect.
Yeah.
It's simping because you can't have the autonomy to whatever, I don't know.
Well, I mean, like it's even like, you know, with our podcast show here too, like me and Devin have talked about how important it is for us to get marginalized people on the show, and women are a marginalized group. Like obviously not in the same way that BIPOC people are, you know, obviously, but it's like when it comes down to, you know, having women on the show, like having a woman's perspective is really important, because you guys don't get to voice your opinions in spaces that are predominantly white straight men. You know, instead you get treated like a fucking Venetian doll in a dollhouse, and have dudes, you know, throwing money towards you, not because they want to actually support you, but because they just want to see you naked. And
then I'm like, surprise, it goes in my butt. Just kidding. Sorry.
Surprise, I'm sponsored by Four Loko.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I'd say that's a tragedy. But I would also want to say too that something that I feel is overlooked is that Asian isn't just people that look like us. Asia's massive.
South Asia, I feel like, is often overlooked too. Like people will be, you know, I'll say something like, I have a friend who's Asian, blah, blah, blah. And then they'll realize I'm talking about a friend who's Indian. And they're like, what, Asian? And I'm like, India is in Asia, you idiot. Like, Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, like, even, you know, not to bring up a really touchy subject, but like Palestine is, the Palestinian people are technically a part of the Asian umbrella. And it you know, like, I think that gets overlooked very much, because there's a segment of white to Asian empathy that gets handed out that is not shared the same way with other kinds of Asian that are not perceived as Asian. And
I agree.
It sucks. It fucking sucks. And I wish it wasn't the case, because that also works not just for Asian men that don't look Asian, but also Asian women that don't look Asian, that get treated differently because they're not part of that novelty category that straight white men like to put Asian women into. And it's bullshit, you know? It fucking sucks. And I wish it wasn't so. And I'll fight anybody who, you know, tries to keep producing it, because unlike you, I am not as sweet and kind about it as you'll try to be. Neither me or Devin are willing to be nice to people that play around with that shit. So you can talk about fucking their dads, and we'll talk about beating the shit out of them in front of their dads. It'll be great. It'll be great. It'll be great. I mean, different
strokes, different folks.
Yeah, right. I mean, Devin is here as you know, a part of the show to kind of put in a perspective of wanting to learn about this stuff himself.
Yes.
You know, like Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Just be the like proper definition of an ally. And I know that a lot of us BIPOC people have marginalized people in general have sort of weird like caveats when it comes to the term ally. Which is fine. But when you have situations like Devin, who is honest to God, trying to be the best human being he possibly can be, and that means getting perspectives from people like us, that puts him in a position to actually be able to say, like, hey, I care about this shit. And that's why he's the homie. That's why he's the boy.
And would you say it's because these types of conversations at this point has been normalized for the two of you, and that's why it's easy for him to?
Yeah, especially up in here. Like I went to a lot of the protests and stuff like that. I have a lot of friends who, you know, whatever orientation anybody wants to be, whatever, you know, a lot of people raised and born from, you know, different cultures and families and stuff like that. So I grew up seeing a lot of those friends be mistreated, or family members too, and some of my closest friends. And to me, and I say this a lot, and this word has like a negative context to it, but to me, it's, you know, whether someone's Asian, black, whatever, like it's all just been very normal to me because we're all fucking humans, you know. It doesn't really like, and I'm so tired of like seeing people just like point out, just be like, oh, you know, my black friend Joe, like you can just say your friend Joe, you know what I mean, and shit like that, or like
I
just
was gonna ask you,
mistreated.
Devin, like, going off of that, what do you think is one huge thing that you have learned from maybe seeing your friends be oppressed or having these conversations, like something that really kind of went against whatever you had internalized growing up, and like what would you share to the audience who may be listening and willing to learn that they might not have thought of?
For a lot of people, when we were raised, the stereotype thing was the most normalized shit that you were taught in school. Like not even like, I mean, like through class or anything, but just like the general culture, like, you know, like, oh, they're Asian, they must be good at math, you know, like people would say shit like that all the time. And like, and or you know, like in Portland specifically too, Portland, like Oregon was originally established as a white supremacist like
still
and
got some
so like
sunset towns.
And you still like you growing up, you see a lot of that stuff because a lot of generalizations of cultures and stuff like that. And like I had friends who'd be upset about it, you know, or be mistreated, and you know, and I just like, it hurt me seeing people hurt, you know what I mean? And it also like my mom taught me to respect everybody and listen to people growing up. So it's just like being raised that way and just being around everybody, it pulled me in, because you don't really see how bad it is till you get older and you get more of a general perspective of the world, right? Because like when you're growing up, you're just kind of in this tiny little bubble. And then when it pops and you really see how people are being treated, I kind of stumbling on my words, but like people just need to pay attention to their surroundings and, you know, listen to people when they talk, and be there for those people when they talk to you. You know, have those conversations with them. It's not hard to do. Like you don't need to classify it as this and that, or compare it to something else when it's that person's experience and what they've dealt with. Like just because you don't see racism or you don't experience it doesn't mean this person or this person or this person does. You know?
Yeah. I mean, like that's one thing that I hearken to a lot with people is like the ones that say like I'm colorblind. I fucking hate that shit. I hate that shit because
I don't see color.
Right? Yeah, I hate that shit
because
I've said it before and I'll say it a million times fucking over. If you are not willing to see my color, then you are completely capable of diminishing me to be less than I actually am, and I won't fucking have it. I won't have it. Like you better see my being brown. You better see my being Asian. You better see me being an island boy, because I am that. And if you don't want to see that, like, fuck off.
And think about it. If they choose not to see it or to ignore it for whatever reason, that's when all these microaggressions come up, when they eat our food or fucking whatever, you know, and they make comments and shit. And it's just like, dude, if you actually understood the culture, or even understood that we're from a different culture, you wouldn't think that this is as weird.
Yeah. Well, and it's important to be in a position like Devin is in, coming from a standpoint of like wanting to learn about this stuff and wanting to gain these perspectives, because I've in our Subtle Sound of AAPI Hate show that we did with Holly from Ubisoft and Mike and Rose, we briefly talked about how it is not our responsibility as BIPOC people, as marginalized people, to talk and teach white people how to fucking act with us. It is other white people that are responsible for teaching their friends and family how to handle this shit. Yeah, call out your fucking friend, because they're not going to listen to us. They don't care what we have to say.
Brown people, or
you know, like playing off of that, the thing I hate the most is when you try to have those conversations with people, because believe me, I do.
Of course.
I'm sick of people trying to go, oh, I don't want to talk politics. And then I will say to them, I was like, this isn't a political thing. This is literally just basic morality. You know, it's respecting people.
Everyday life for people. It's not just a segment of politics.
Yeah, it's
like
not.
I wish it was just political for us. I wish it was just politics.
Racism isn't left or right. Racism is morality.
Yeah, and white people tend to treat it as a subject of debate in which they feel they can opt in or out of.
Yeah.
But non-white people don't have that option, because it's the life that we live. And now it's like, you know, something that Raven says all the time. It's like, sometimes I feel like I have to defend my existence.
Yeah.
And it's fucked up, man.
It is. It's super fucked up. And it fucking sucks. And, you know, like, unfortunately, the reality is, like, we're never going to completely wipe that lame shit off the face of this planet. But, you know, we're making steps. And it's awesome that we're making steps. You know, like, we're living in a world now where, like, we're more connected with other people more than we ever have, period.
Yeah, 14-year-old me would not imagine this conversation happening on a public platform.
Me either. 14-year-old me would have been playing with my Yu-Gi-Oh cards, wishing I wasn't getting picked up. You know, like, it's
14-year-old me was blowing out N64 cartridges and switching over to my PlayStation to play Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I get it, man. Like, it's nuts. Thank you for asking us those, though. We haven't had anyone ask us questions like that before on this show, so thank you. That actually means a lot, because there's a lot of stuff that we stand for when it comes to this show, and like why we started doing this show and why we have guests on every Saturday, because, you know, this shit's important to us. This shit's important to talk about, and we want to talk about it, and we want you to talk about it. We want to give people like you like a safe space to be able to just be authentically you and bitch and complain and moan and be unhappy and be super ecstatic about your successes and the things that you're experiencing and things that you're not experiencing and so on and so forth. Like, we want you to be able to be unabashedly you, and it's fucking awesome to have you. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me and not thinking that I'm annoying, because I'm just nosy. Like, I want to know what you think.
Have you heard how we talk? We're like already annoying.
I was gonna say we are infinitely more annoying.
I was gonna say we're all cut from the same cloth. To be honest, let's be real.
Yeah, let's be real. It's the same T-shirt. It's all right. It's okay. HighxLash, where can people find you?
Okay, if you want to find me, I am HighxLash on basically everything. Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. Is there TikTok? You know, I don't know. I'm a borderline boomer, though. I like to call myself an elder millennial, so I don't TikTok that well, but you can follow me anyways.
I'm figuring it out. I get it. I don't like it either.
I'm just like, TikTok dances, I don't dance. And then they're like, oh, what about recipes? I'm like, but then that's like 6 clips that I have to
God.
And I'm like, how do I flip backward from the app to this? I don't know.
Oh no. Devin, do you have anything you want to drop on her before we end out?
You know,
we're good?
Everybody join Ernell tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and experience his Mass Effect playthrough.
Yes.
I will be watching, because and not participating because I will also be playing Mass Effect.
It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, do that. And other than that, check out our Apex stream we did the other night. We actually had some good runs together. Ernell stepped up his game. He decided he couldn't play mouse and keyboard anymore and joined me on the controller.
It's okay. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
It's okay.
You had some games you did better than me.
Yeah, I did. I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
When are you guys gonna get into fighting games, though?
I actually am into fighting games, but I don't know if you remember, I actually hopped into a stream that you were doing with Raven a while back, and I said, see me in Mortal Kombat. Yeah, so you and I are going to have to play sometime soon. We're going to have to beat each other's asses in that. So.
Yeah. I'm growing up with fighting games. My friends never wanted to play fighting games with me anymore.
Devin, I wish we were friends when we were kids.
We'll play fighting games with you.
Yes.
I'm a Soul Calibur stan, so
that's my weakest link. I would say it's Street Fighter and then Tekken and then Mortal Kombat, and Soul Calibur is my work. I don't know why.
Did you guys play Injustice?
I mean, I was.
It's actually good.
Yeah,
the story was actually good.
It was good. It was just basically superhero Mortal Kombat, though. So I was like,
yeah, same team.
Kombat, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Tekken
I
Tag
think
Tournament,
I'm gonna pee my pants though, so I think I'm gonna call this now so I don't pee myself.
That is fun. I'll go ahead and do the outro while you go and do that.
Thanks
love
for joining us.
You are the best. We appreciate you so much. And thank you. We will have you on again sometime soon, okay?
Amazing. Okay, thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon.
Yes. No problem. Bye-bye. Be good. I'm going to get things just fixed up here really quick. Excuse me. And we are good. There you go. Hi, everyone. Hello. And anyways, I guess we can just kind of end things from here. You know what I mean? Give us the outro here. Because this has been the Good Kraken Podcast, a show for nerdy marginalized peoples giving you the video game and pop media news, reviews, and discussions that you wanted to hear live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and Saturday at 1 p.m. right here on twitch.tv/goodkrakenshow. If you enjoyed the show, you can support us by subscribing below, going to our YouTube channel by clicking the link in the About section of our Twitch channel and clicking that bell and big, beautiful red button, or by subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Good Kraken with an exclamation mark and leaving a review there. But until next time, Devin, chug those Four Locos, baby. But chug those Four Locos. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say watch Castlevania.
I will take it. You know what I mean? Watch Castlevania and butt chug those Four Locos. See you boys later. Thank you, y'all. Be good. We love you. Butt chug Four Locos.